Alright guys, so I've been not the greatest at keeping tabs on the progress tracking here, so essentially this was when I weighed in at 185-ish pounds January 10th, 2026. The first photo is just kind of partial flex, then this is bicep flex, and then now we're going to get into some actual video of the initial place where I was at. So this is kind of like, I call this like the Jay Cutler or whatever. He kind of used to do this pose in the mirror. It's like a sort of partial bicep flex. Here it is again. I'm not the best poser in the world, so this is just, front double bi. This is just me just kind of giving hopefully a baseline of where things started at, and then a tricep here, and tricep behind the back. So obviously I'm not very lean. I've never been very lean ever. Even at my leanest, I still probably was not what people would call lean. Then there's the kind of partial Lou Ferrigno front double bi, there front double bi, lat spread, just held it a bit there. Then whatever people call this, where you kind of do the shoulder lat spread, get a bit more of the back definition hopefully. Transitioning into kind of a side chest, side chest. Then kind of a, a vacuum crunch, whatever you call that. As you can see, I'm not the best expert in posing or anything, but here we are. Then kind of like a side crunch or whatever, and again crunch but not with vacuum. Now we're going to February 7th, 2026, approximately 190 pounds. So I have the shirt on here. You might say I'm looking a bit fuller, but once we get into the side-by-sides later on, you could judge for yourself. So this is side chest. It might look like I have a bit more shoulder mass here, maybe a bit more arm mass, maybe a bit more chest mass as well. Also keep in mind that the lighting is a little bit different, and as a result of the lighting, the camera quality is also a bit different because I'm just recording off of Snapchat on my phone. So this is just probably, well, it is just all automatic camera settings. So then side crunch here. So I might look a little bit healthier, but keep in mind that that might just be due to the lighting and video quality. Side crunch from the other side. And then kind of like, this is a bit more of a modified version of the Cutler, sort of partial bicep flex here. The posing might be a little bit inconsistent from comparison to comparison. That might be worth keeping in mind. Because if it's not like an exact comparison, and like I didn't even do this pose the first time, this is my attempt, I guess you could say, at the most muscular pose. You could see the traps if you want there. And then again with the more kind of controlled Cutler partial bicep flex. This is the front double bi. You might notice that there is a bit more shoulder mass. I could be wrong about that. Here we go for the side tricep, behind the back side tricep. Keep in mind as well, because the lighting is different, there's a lot more shadow being cast on my back right now compared to maybe in the first kind of initial progress check, or progress, whatever you want to call it, my first videos. There's kind of the side bicep, concentration curl bicep, if you will. Trying to maybe get a bit more of the shoulder flex in there. After looking over this before, it seems like the shoulders might be one of the things that might have noticeable difference. In terms of the arms, might be debatable. Again, it depends on, like, is the posing good enough? And then here's the lat spread again. Transitioning into the shoulder lat spread sort of thing. Might be a bit more back definition, might be a bit leaner in some areas, but then the overall leanness I don't think is there everywhere. So it's a bit confusing actually looking at some of this progress stuff. There's the side chest. And don't worry, we'll be getting into the side-by-side comparisons later on in the video. There's side chest from different angle. I think I might have already done this earlier. Okay, now we're going to get into the side-by-sides. So okay, that's progress to progress, but that's with the shirt on, so it's a bit hard to really tell much of anything. Is there more bicep peak? Maybe. It's not like super duper noticeable. You see, again, here's where the lighting is more noticeable. So the video quality on the newer video is better, but at the same time, like just comparing mass to mass, you might just be able to, and this video slow down a little bit right here. You could decide for yourself if there's any change in the biceps or anything. tricep definition might have increased a bit, or mass might have increased a bit. Again, the lighting is not the same. That could have an impact. People might say that's just cope. It's up to you. There's the side bicep, kind of the Lou Ferrigno partial again. You see, this is the one that was a bit demoralizing. It seems like my back is smaller. I'm not even sure if it's leaner either, though. Unless my posing on the lat spread just wasn't as good, it seems almost like the back has less mass, which is a bit of a bummer. There's the side chest, and again, the side chest posing, I think I'm leaning back a bit more in the later video. There's the vacuum, so you see the ribs are showing a bit more in the first video, but I still have kind of the side muscle coming in there. There's the side crunch. So in conclusion, I'll hopefully try to just wrap things up pretty quick here. I'm just looping the previous progress comparison video. So when looking through this footage initially, some of the shots might have been kind of underwhelming. Again, with the rear lat spread, things were looking kind of rough. It's like in some poses, it might almost look like I added some level of leanness, and then in some other poses, it might look like I have less leanness. It would make sense to have less leanness at the later on point because my mass went up. And so obviously, like, I'm not tracking calories or anything really. It's more just vague kind of calorie tracking in the mind. And so as a result, you see, here's what I'm talking about. So as a result, like, it's going to be probably a bit of a bulk. The goal is to kind of do a bit of a bulk. So the back might look a little bit leaner in some spots, but the mass might look less. You know, and then on some other things, like the shoulder definition might be better and stuff like that, but then it just seems like gives and takes. I guess I was hoping for an overall increase or overall improvement, but it seems like it might be debatable in some areas whether there was significant improvement or not. I'm going to do the month 2 progress video next. I think I said that right. Hopefully I did. And we'll kind of compare from there moving forward. But regardless, whether it's a win or a loss, I'm going to be sticking with it till the summer, and that will be ultimately where the proof is in the pudding. But anyway, hopefully, well, I guess this was informative in one way or another. Hopefully, in some of these shots, there's some level of size or mass increase or definition increase. In some areas, there might have been some decrease, maybe. If so, that's a bit curious, but maybe this is all just the experiment. And so anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.